I can still hear my mother's voice cutting through the room like an icy knife. Your kids can eat whatever scraps are left in the kitchen. They're not guests here. The whole room went silent. My children's eyes fell to the floor, their little hands gripping each other like they could somehow block out the sting of her words. My sister smirked, always eager to remind me where I stood. And don't forget, she added, her tone dripping with entitlement. I'm staying all week. You're covering my meals too. My father didn't even bother to look up from his paper. Go set the table like a good little servant, he muttered. I said nothing. I just breathed, gave a small nod, and let them believe they had won again. But inside, something cracked open. It hadn't always been this way. I remember when family meant comfort, when love was still warm. I was the one who cooked, drove them to their appointments, babysat my sister's kids while she stumbled through another failed relationship. I thought loyalty would be enough. I thought being dependable would mean being loved. But little by little, they stopped seeing me as a son or a brother. Instead, I became a tool, a shadow they could order around, mock, and toss aside. At first, it was small things, forgotten birthdays, unanswered calls, little jokes at my expense. Then it became blatant disrespect, big decisions made without me, my kids fading into the background of the very house I grew up in. I saw the pattern, and I decided I wouldn't play along anymore. So when my mother spit those words at my children, something inside me hardened. I grabbed their hands, smiled, and told them to get their coats. My sister laughed, assuming I was sulking. My father didn't look up. My mother waved me away like I was nothing. We drove in silence, but when we walked into the steakhouse, my kids' faces lit up. White tablecloths, crystal glasses, the rich smell of steak sizzling on the grill. Order whatever you want, I told them. Their eyes grew wide. They ate like royalty, the way they should have been treated at their grandmother's table. Every laugh, every bite filled me with fire. Halfway through dessert, I made one phone call. Just one. And then I waited. It didn't take long. Hours later, my phone buzzed over and over. First my mother's number, then my sister's, then my father's. Missed calls piling up like frantic footsteps. I let it ring. My kids licked the last of the chocolate mousse from their spoons. When I finally answered, my mother's voice was shaky with panic. The police are here. They said there's a problem with the account, with the charges. They're saying fraud. What's happening? I leaned back, calm as stone. I don't know, Mother. Maybe check whose name the house is under, whose name the bills are under, whose name the joint account is under. Silence. Then I heard her sharp gasp. My father's voice came next, raging. What did you do? I just stopped paying for people who treat me like a servant, I said. Didn't you tell me that's all I was? Well, servants don't cover mortgages, car notes, and credit cards in 3 other people's names. Then the line went dead. Here's the truth they never knew. While they laughed at me, mocked me, dismissed me, I was the one carrying the family's weight, my credit, my savings, my name. I kept their roof over their heads, kept the lights on, kept their plates full, and all it took was a single call to the bank to cut it all off, one signature to push everything back where it belonged. They thought they were untouchable, that I would always foot the bill, always drag their debts on my back, always keep quiet. They never thought I'd let the whole house of cards collapse. By midnight, another voicemail came in. My sister's voice cracked with sobs. They're saying I have to leave the house. The car's being towed. Please, you can't do this to me. You're my brother. Brother? The word tasted like ash in my mouth. I pictured her smug grin from earlier, the way she enjoyed watching my kids shrink under our mother's cruelty. I already did, I whispered into the quiet room, and I deleted the message. The next morning, they showed up at my door. My mother looked like she had aged 10 years overnight. My father's shoulders drooped, his pride gone. My sister clutched her kids, her eyes red and swollen from crying. You can't do this to family, my father said, his voice a hollow echo of the man who once barked commands at me. I stepped outside, closing the door gently so my children wouldn't hear. Family, I said. Family doesn't starve my kids to feed someone else's. Family doesn't spit on the hands that keep them alive. My mother reached out for me, but I stepped back. Go, I told them. Figure out how to live without me. You wanted me small, obedient, invisible. Now you can see what life looks like when I disappear." My father opened his mouth to argue, but no words came. My sister started to beg, but I turned my back on them. The door clicked shut between us. That night, my kids and I ate leftovers from the steakhouse. They laughed as they told me their